Hey, what's up? Well, I'm back with a video finally. Hardly ever get to make them anymore, but we'll have to change that somehow. I don't know how, but we'll have to find some way to make videos. Um, and what I'd like to talk about in this video is something slightly different than what I've been talking about before. I mean, I'm sure it ties in somehow, but somewhat different. The title of this video is Boundless Freedom. And I would like to say that if there's one thing that I have never known, it's freedom, okay? My life has been nothing but bondage, okay? And I feel like, really and truly, if people wanted to be honest, I'm sure everyone could say that they're in some form of bondage. I don't care how rich you are, I don't care how much privilege you have some form of bondage in your life. And what I mean by that is no one has boundless freedom, okay? There are boundaries to everyone's freedom. You know, it may not be the same form of bondage. It varies across the lifespan. I mean, when you're a kid, you're basically enslaved to your parents. They basically own you and they tell you what to do. Then when you go to school, your teachers control you. And then if you're unfortunate enough as a woman to get married, you have to do what your husband says, or else you might end up dead. And if you're the husband, or if you're a man and you have a job, then you have to do what your boss tells you to do. And if you're a woman with a job, you unfortunately have two people telling you what to do or controlling you. So, in my case, my life has never been free. I have never been free. I just wouldn't know what freedom is. And that's why I'm actually not afraid of going to jail. You know, it just doesn't scare me to the extent that a lot of people wish it would. You know, they threaten to call the police or have me put in jail, however ridiculous that may be. Considering that most of the things they're talking about are not illegal, people would like to threaten me with jail about so many things, but it doesn't work. Because how can you really fear losing your freedom when you've never had it? You know what I'm saying? My whole life has been enslavement, imprisonment, and bondage. I've never been free in my life. I've always had to do what my parents said. I go from my mom to my dad, and that's just like one form of bondage to another. I've never been free. It's like, and just today, I found that out because, it's a long story, but I'm just now starting to drive my car around this town, and I need to change my license plate to reflect the new state that I'm in. I have Texas plates, but, if I wanted to get in that car and just go wherever, whenever, well, it doesn't work that way, as I've stated before. If I wanted to go grab a bite to eat tomorrow for lunch, like let's say Burger King or McDonald's or Taco Bell, well, and I just decided to get in that car and just go do it. Well, I'm not allowed to do that because I don't have freedom. If I were at my mom's house, she wouldn't allow me to do it, unless I'm with her. And over here, I'm not allowed to do it, because my dad, now that he's retired, he's always talking about money and, things cost and, about how certain food is unhealthy. It's either expensive and or it's unhealthy. One out of the two or both. Okay, so I've never really had freedom. I can't just come and go as I please, whenever I want to. And the reason I was motivated to make this video, I was reading some article, the word boundless freedom. I actually had to look up boundless. I mean, I had a pretty good idea what it meant, but I had to look it up to make sure. This woman was talking about how she no longer has the boundless freedom that she had before she got pregnant and had kids. Well, number one, I think it's ridiculous how many women, just, decide that they just have to have kids no matter what. But that is certainly, you see, I've never had a child and never will. I physically can't, as I've stated before. And it's been what, 7 years? Oh my goodness. Today is April 12th, so 7 years to the day since I had my hysterectomy. But I still have never had boundless freedom. Okay, the fact that I don't have any kids has not made me rich, and it has not given me boundless freedom. Okay, that's not why I chose to never have any kids, as I've stated before. I didn't have any kids and will never have any kids and never wanted any kids because I don't want the negative impacts on my physical body. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay, it has nothing to do with I'm going to be rich because I don't have any kids, or, because, as I've stated before, I've never had freedom. I've never lived on my own. I've never been in a situation where I could just come and go as I please. Even just making these videos, I have to keep it down so that I don't wake up my dad. And I would be in some kind of trouble if they found out about these videos. Okay, so I've never had true freedom, ever. So, it's a good thing I don't have any kids, but, I'm sure she didn't have boundless freedom, as she calls it, because, everyone has some form of bondage in their life. Everyone has someone they have to answer to. You have to, like, if I didn't live with my parents, I would have to have a job, and I would have to answer to a boss and be there at a certain time every day. And so for however many hours I would have to work, I'd be enslaved, basically. Enslaved to the almighty dollar. So there aren't many people that have boundless freedom, because freedom has boundaries, and I've never truly had it.